Time to get an update on the business news now. Yuka Royer joins us in studio. Yuka, we're going to start off with a scandal hitting some of the world's largest banks, several global banks in fact, named and accused of moving large sums of illicit funds over a period of nearly 2 decades.
Oh, that's right. It's the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, together with BuzzFeed, that published the report on Sunday. And now the ICIJ is the same group that revealed the Panama Papers back in 2015. And the new report is based on leaked US government documents first obtained by BuzzFeed. Now, 108 international media outlets from 88 countries contributed to the investigation. Several global banks, as you mentioned, including HSBC, JP Morgan Chase and Deutsche Bank, are being accused of continuing to transfer funds for shadowy organizations and individuals, even after they were warned by the US authority. The leaked documents are called Suspicious Activity Reports, which were filed by banks around the world with the Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, known as FinCEN, between 1999 and 2017. The suspicious transfers amount to $2 trillion altogether. The FinCEN had warned media outlets against publishing articles based on leaked secret documents, citing national security concerns. Now, the latest damning revelation has hit the banks in question. In Hong Kong, HSBC's shares dropped to their lowest level since 1995, and Standard Chartered also suffered a sell-off this Monday. More broadly, Asian markets, as you can see, traded lower at the start of the week, taking a cue from Friday's Wall Street shares, which declined for a third straight week. The Tokyo Stock Exchange is closed for a public holiday. Video sharing app TikTok has averted a shutdown in the United States after President Trump approved a deal between its Chinese owner, ByteDance, and US tech giant Oracle and retail giant Walmart at the 11th hour. Trump had signed an executive order in August giving ByteDance an ultimatum to sell TikTok's US operations, threatening to shut down the service on September the 20th. That deadline has now been postponed until next Sunday, while the agreement is finalised. Accounts of the deal differ, though. The Chinese company said on Monday that it would own 80% of TikTok Global, a newly created US-based subsidiary, while Oracle and Walmart said earlier that majority ownership would be in American hands. Here's President Trump speaking earlier.
I think it's a great deal for America. They'll be hiring at least 25,000 people. It'll most likely be incorporated in Texas. It'll be a brand new company. It will have nothing to do with any outside land, any outside country. It will have nothing to do with China. It'll be totally secure. I can say that I have given the deal my blessing. If they get it done, that's great. If they don't, that's okay too.
That was President Trump speaking Sunday. Local officials in the northern French town of Béthune are set to meet with union representatives this Monday over the planned closure of a major tyre factory there. It follows the announcement last week from the plant's owner, Bridgestone, a Japanese company, that it had no other option in the face of rising competition. Unions and the French government accused Bridgestone of acting in bad faith, having refused successive rescue plans which were on offer. Luke Schrager has more.
863 workers to lose their jobs and a factory in northern France to close for good. Japanese tyre maker Bridgestone says it has no other option as it tries to juggle excess capacity in Europe with Asian competition. Certainly, Asian firms now hold a quarter of the market, well up from just 6% 20 years ago. But the French government says Bridgestone knew what it was facing and had a strategy in mind.
We're ready to do the maximum. We've been offering them that for years. They didn't want to hear it, and now the COVID crisis has made the business inviable. They haven't invested anything for years.
The Béthune site produces smaller tyres for older models of car, ones that aren't that profitable today. However, the multinational hasn't made the necessary investment to manufacture larger tyres for more modern vehicles. This despite repeated offers of state aid. Investments that Bridgestone seemed to have no problem making elsewhere in Europe, such as €160 million in Poland just 2 years ago. According to French unions, The group is now planning to open 2 new sites, one in Estonia in 2024 and another in Belarus 2 years later. 2 nations where labour is far cheaper than in France.
I'm sure that Bridgestone will receive subsidies in another country, Poland for example, to increase its production capacity with employees working 45, 60 hours a week.
With Bridgestone posting a turnover of €28 billion last year with $2.4 billion in net profits, it sparked an outpouring of anger from both the state and French workers.
That's it from the business desk for now.
Yuka, thanks a lot for that. Yuka Royer there, bringing us up to date on the business news.